The UK government has been accused of reneging on promises to shipyard workers on the Clyde after it announced plans for work on new warships to be split across different locations. Unions say ministers have gone back on a pledge that Glasgow would become the base for a frigate factory for the Navy. Our business correspondent David Henderson is at the Govan shipyard for us tonight. David.
Jackie, this new strategy set out by the UK government presents a real challenge to Scotland's shipyards. Right now, the Govan yard behind me is starting to build the first of a new fleet of anti-submarine frigates for the Royal Navy. But if it wants to win other contracts in future, it'll have to compete against other shipyards right around the UK.
A warship launched on the Clyde, built for the Royal Navy by thousands of Scottish workers. It's happened many times in the past. Now, though, the Ministry of Defence has a new strategy, which means the contract for a new type of ship, anti-submarine frigates, will be open to tender from other British shipyards.
There are plenty of yards now that are ready to enter this competitive process. We're setting a price for the frigate, and we've seen in recent years a renaissance of these shipyards, and we want to take advantage of that. So the benefits of this extra defence spending are felt right round the regions.
What the government wants is for ships to be built in pieces and then moved and assembled somewhere else. But it wouldn't be the first time it's happened. The sections of the Royal Navy's new aircraft carriers were put together at Rosyth in Fife after a journey by sea. But this union leader on the Clyde is angry. He says it breaches a promise from the UK government to build a so-called frigate factory on this site at Scotstoun.
We're not entirely surprised that Mr Fallon has come out with what he's come out with today. However, those 5 frigates which he's announced are going to be built piecemeal around the United Kingdom in a dog-eat-dog competition were promised to the Clyde, and we believe they should be rightfully built here on the Upper Clyde.
So why the new strategy? Well, it's partly down to money. Warships are expensive to build. 2 aircraft carriers have cost the Navy £6 billion, and the government hopes more competition between UK shipyards will deliver savings for the taxpayer. But some don't think that'll work.
Well, we're not saying that all the shipbuilding activity should be carried out on the Clyde, but there's certainly a way to have subsidiary yards feeding into the programme. But the main integration centre of excellence has always been the Clyde, and that's where the critical mass of skills, particularly for fitting out and integrating the ships, are. And that's why we need to focus that investment on the Clyde to get the real benefits. If you duplicate that work across the UK, you're not going to get those benefits. You're going to drive in cost to the programme, not reduce it.
With years of work ahead, the Govan shipyard has time to prepare for tougher competition. But Rosyth has much less time, just a few more years, before the second aircraft carrier is finished. As so often, shipyard workers have fewer guarantees than they'd like.